has become such an essential service for all users that it's become practically impossible to live without some Google service or the other at some point of time if you are on the internet. Be it the fact that your device is based on Android, or that you need to search something, go to a location, chat with someone, in everything possible there is some Google service or the other at play. But is it really possible to live on the internet without any Google service whatsoever? We're going to take a look at living on the internet without any Google service to the best possible measure, which is something that privacy-focused users who do not wish to be tracked across the internet in any form should know about. Here's looking at the best ways in which you can avoid Google despite being on the internet and using the best of its services. Now, of course, the conversation begins with Android. You see, Android, of course, is provided by Google today. They took the Android open source project and applied their own elements to make it their own. As a result, Google today provides regular software updates and an exhaustive app support to make sure that users remain within the Android ecosystem. And this is something that many anti-competitive advocates have raised over time. And many app developers have also spoken about the monopolistic power that Google holds over the market. If you want to do away with all that, if you want to do away with any Google service running on your phone, your best bet out there today is EOS. Run by the E Foundation, which centers its activity around privacy and gives the power of privacy back to the user. EOS has the power to support most mainstream Android apps. The E Foundation regularly supports EOS with software updates that includes bug patches to fix numerous vulnerabilities that cyber attackers might target you with. And at the end of the day, at the center, EOS is Android itself. After all, it's based on the AOSP, which is Android open source program. And all things taken together, it gets most of the app supports. Yes, a certain number of niche apps which might be localized to your country. For instance, the likes of ICICI Bank's iMobile mobile banking app, or even HDFC Bank's mobile banking app. Stuff like that are not available on the EOS App Store. However, apps like WhatsApp, Netflix, Signal, and even local social media apps such as ShareChat are available on the platform. An exhaustive number of devices are already supported by it, which includes the likes of OnePlus, Samsung's Galaxy S series flagship, and Xiaomi's Redmi Note series, which are pretty popular in India. All things taken together, if Android is being a bit too pushy for you in terms of the power and overall command that Google holds over it, EOS is the best option for you to go with. We then come to individual apps and services which you can use to replace Google's mainstream services, which we generally have become used to using every day. Now, the catch here is that Google, of course, collects a whole lot of data, but that has clearly helped them improve their services. As a result, the Google search engine, of course, returns some of the best possible search engine results that you can see, and it might take you a while to get used to other search engines such as the privacy-focused DuckDuckGo. However, with the right search terms and a bit of looking around, you can find the results that you also find on the Google search engine. In terms of the other range of activities, you can replace Google Chrome with Brave, which is a move that we anyway recommend because it makes sure that your Google account is not compulsorily linked to your browsing activity history and you are not tracked across the internet at all times. In terms of email, you can replace your Google account and Google Mail services with Proton Mail, which is an encrypted email service based in Switzerland, and so on and so forth. So there are a whole list of alternatives which you can replace Google services with. For instance, you can replace Google Meet, which is a video conferencing software, with Jitsi, which has been recommended by privacy and security advocates around the world. Now, while there are plenty of these alternatives and there is possibly an option for you to look for such a privacy alternative at every step of the way, things do come with a catch. You see, using Google services is simply very convenient. You can, for instance, just link your account to your web browser and all your activities will be synced across all your devices. That simply makes it a very cohesive experience to use email, and switch to navigation and move over to conversations on Google Meet and so on and so forth without having to look around and open multiple tabs and work on what might essentially feel like a fragmented experience. However, this fragmented experience is the very thing which lets you experience how the open internet was before such mass surveillance tactics and centralized monopolies were established. Companies like Google and Facebook have of course afforded users convenience by letting you sign in using one account, which makes sure that all your activities are synced across all your devices, and also giving you recommendations based on your usage. So it of course would seem very convenient that the moment you log into one platform, you are recommended content that you always like. This, however, comes at the cost of user privacy and user security as well, because this data can also be provided to advertisers to target you with key statistics, and this data set we have come to see can also include sensitive information. Companies like Google and Facebook have of course spoken out about the fact that they do not sell such sensitive data, but then at the end of the day, the power to decide what data is sensitive and what data isn't to a user lies in the hands of corporate giants like Google and Facebook. And if you want to move away and not let them take that call for you, these are the best means for you to use right now.